Welcome to another episode of the Rank 'em Podcast. Thanks for making us a part of your day, however it is, wherever it is you're doing so. We're available on all major podcast platforms, as well as YouTube. You can find the podcast on Facebook and Twitter as well, at Rank 'em Podcast. I'm Garrett Seawright, joined as always with co-host John Garwood. He's on Twitter.
At Don_G.
You can also watch him stream on Twitch. And my younger brother, Zach, joining us for what is conceivably the final time.
Possibly.
Ever.
Possibly.
We can hope.
Zach is moving for his job. Thank God. Oh, I said the quiet part out loud. That's not nice. Zach is moving to Kalamazoo, which will be fun to say over and over again. Kalamazoo.
Yeah. Moving to OK Zoo.
So
once you
you're
become
gonna be a Michigander.
I was going to say, once you become a Michigander, you are not welcome on the podcast.
That's fine.
So
I can live with that.
How's your? Well, you don't know. You don't have a spot yet. You can say, "How's your internet there?" You don't know yet.
Couldn't tell you.
I don't know. I don't live there.
I don't live there yet.
So today we are going to rank our favorite Leonardo DiCaprio movies.
Oh,
Leo.
Did you do roles?
No.
Okay, I was going to say, because we did Adam Sandler characters once, and it just turned into,
movies.
I don't like Billy Madison, the character, as much as I like Billy Madison, the movie.
Right.
So we were just going straight movies this time, and I thought, damn it, Don, we talked about this. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? So we are going to rank our favorite Leonardo DiCaprio movies. And there's not a ton of them. He's not done a ton of work, but
64 acting credits.
what he has done
It's good.
is good.
You know, he hasn't been in a comedy. Like, just a straight-up comedy.
I was going to say, I think that part where they leave him in the tub overnight and what's eating Gilbert Grape's pretty funny.
Right, but like they...
Jesus Christ.
But yeah, not just a straight up like
even Tom Cruise was in Tropic Thunder.
I get yeah.
I mean, obviously he's a bit older than Leo, but yeah, I'd like to see if Leo can make me laugh.
There's a movie I would argue it's not a comedy.
It's not, but
It's
I
not.
would
Anyway.
argue.
Okay.
Well, it'll probably get brought up.
Yeah, so Zach, you're number 5 on the Leonardo DiCaprio movies list on the latest episode of the Rank 'em Podcast is...
So this list was really hard for me to make just because a lot of these roles are very iconic. And so I'm probably going to get yelled at a lot in this episode. And I'm just kind of mentally preparing myself for that now.
I'm not going to yell at you. I couldn't give a shit.
If you were number 1 is what I think it is.
I texted Garrett's wife what I think your number 1 is.
I'm going to slap you.
Or
Okay.
what I think Garrett thinks your number 1 is.
Okay, well.
I'm not going to slap you.
Okay, well, I appreciate that. My number 5 is The Departed, and it feels wrong to have it at 5. I absolutely love that movie. It was one of the first movies that I ever had mailed to me via
Netflix.
No, I believe my mom got it. I got like a free trial of Blockbuster at home, and we got it on Blockbuster at home because that's how old this story is. And I absolutely love that movie. It has a banger cast. Matt Damon, Martin Sheen,
Jack Nicholson.
Leonardo
Leonardo DiCaprio.
DiCaprio, obviously.
Matt Damon.
Mark Wahlberg.
Marky Mark, yes.
Alec Baldwin.
That's who I was looking for, was Alec Baldwin.
Don't forget Robert Baldwin.
Yeah. But just a good old
Anthony
crime
Anderson.
movie. What?
Anthony Anderson is in The Departed.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he is.
He's the guy shouting, "Let's burn this motherfucker down, Pookie!"
Come on, Pookie, let's burn this motherfucker
I
down.
think that's a different movie.
I'm pretty sure that's Departed.
Okay. But, yeah, no.
You know who else is in that?
Matt Damon.
Matt Damon.
But, no, it's a banger.
Yep. That's all you got?
Well, I feel that, like, I don't want to spend a whole lot of time talking about it because it's probably going to come back up.
Don, you're number 5.
My number 5 is not The Departed. In fact, it's Django Unchained. Now, this movie made an appearance on my country music Western movies list. My CMT list. And Leonardo DiCaprio plays a slave owner.
Yeah.
Calvin Candy.
Who also... Is it Candy?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who
Because
also,
the mansion's
has
called
like
Candyland.
Candyland.
has like a fighting ring for his slaves.
Mandingo.
Yeah, there's certain
That's-
words you're not allowed to say, Zach.
I don't think that's one of them.
But one... Yeah, it's borderline.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it often.
I would make sure you had really good context when you said it.
Well,
And this might be the only context you can. This might be the
context.
only context you can
that-
say it.
in the movie Django
I
Unchained.
sure hope nobody clips that and sends it to Zach's employer.
Zach's new employer.
I mean, it's the same employer.
Okay, I was.
Anyway, so one of the really cool things about this movie is Leonardo DiCaprio gets really fired up in a scene, his character, Calvin Candy, and like slams his hand on the table.
Yeah.
So when he did that, he shattered a glass, and real glass went into his hand. And he like looked at it, and you could kind of see on the other actors' faces like, holy shit. But he just keeps going through it and then starts picking glass out of his hand and then
Stays in character the whole time.
stays in character the whole time and then rubs his blood all over
Kerry Washington.
Washington's face.
Which, ugh.
Right. I can't imagine what her reaction was
Oh.
after.
I would
'Cause
love to
She
see-
stayed in character.
I would love to see the.
Which I think the character is just literally anybody having blood run across their face. But I would love to have been a fly on the wall right after that.
I would love to see the video where Tarantino says, "Cut," and then Kerry Washington's like, "You motherfucker! Did you seriously just pour your blood all over my face? Like, are you kidding me right now?
Right,
Is this real life? You really just did that?" Because I imagine that's not like she's like, "That's a prop, right?" Now my hand hurts really bad.
She's like, "Okay, well, I'm calling SAG because like that ain't right."
I don't know that I would be thrilled with that happening to me.
Yeah, that's
no,
crossing.
but
the
that
line,
being
baby.
said, it is a phenomenal scene.
It is.
Yeah.
You are
And
correct.
it's better that when you know that it's
Right, that it's
real.
real.
Yeah.
Well, it's just like Martin Sheen in Apocalypse Now. Like he got drunk and like punched a mirror or kicked a mirror or whatever, and then like completely fucked up his hand when they were filming that movie and like delayed production by like 6 weeks.
Nice.
And they kept that scene in the movie as well. I love stuff like that gets kept in the
Right,
movies.
when you find out later the real story afterwards.
So yeah, I've got Django Unchained at 5.
Not sure that's how you pronounce that. Number 5 for me, I have Shutter Island. I watched it just a couple weeks ago, and I was like, you know what? This is underrated. This is when Leo and Martin Scorsese hook up. We got magic.
Yeah.
Magic, folks. Magic. And I don't know if is it a twist at the end?
Yeah.
Does that count as a twist? The twist at the
I don't
end.
know.
Never seen Shutter Island? Or
I've
haven't
never
seen it
seen-
since 2010?
I haven't. When did it come out?
2010.
Never seen it.
Okay.
I was thinking it was like 2002. There was another one kind of similar happening.
No. The Happening and
There
Shutter
was another
Island.
one. I never saw Shutter Island.
Shutter Island and Inception came out pretty close to each other.
Okay.
Shutter Island is really good. I would call it my number 5 favorite Leonardo DiCaprio movie. That's how far I would go.
I will
Oh,
give it
really?
a shot
Yes.
because they're, honestly, anything in your top 5 is worth it. Is worth everybody watching because A, I imagine we're going to have some similarities.
Yeah.
But B, everything he makes is good.
Right, he didn't make. Romeo and Juliet isn't great, but
Can you really hold that against him though at 19, trying
Yes.
to just okay?
he should know better. Damn it, he's Leonardo DiCaprio. But Zach mentioned earlier he thought his list was hard to make. I think my 5 through 4.
Ooh.
No.
Both of them?
Yeah, both of them. 5 through 2 are almost interchangeable. If you were to ask me on any other day, I might give a different answer.
I think you could do that with my 2 through 4.
Gotcha. Also, I'm looking forward to he's in a movie called Roosevelt.
I believe it's pronounced Roosevelt.
That he's going to be Theodore Roosevelt.
Ooh.
That I will look forward to. And I believe it's directed by Martin Scorsese as well. So we got that to look forward to. It is directed by Martin Scorsese.
Nice.
So Shutter Island. Sorry that, hey, Don, there's a twist at the end of that bad boy. The movie's been out for 11 years. This is not my fault. It's yours. So if you ever watch it.
It's a peninsula.
Twist. It's a plateau. It's not an island.
Or what's the
No, peninsula. So you're
the three surrounded on three sides?
Yeah. It's an archipelago.
Archipelago.
Damn it. They got me. So Shutter Island, number 5 for me.
Zach.
Heart attack, Zach.
What is your number 4?
My number 4, which again, this list was very, very difficult to list.
It's hard.
My number 4 is
probably wrong.
Probably, but arguably, it's Leo's best role because it's finally the one he won an Oscar for, and that's the movie The Revenant.
I would say it's his fourth best role.
Right.
Fourth best movie.
But he finally won the Oscar for it. And it is a movie about a man who is
Revenant.
Is Revenant. He's left for dead and was not a fan. So he exacts some revenge. Garrett and I went and saw that movie in theaters together because I really wanted to see it and he really wanted to see it. But he knew there was no way in hell his wife could sit through that movie. So he called me one day and was like, well, what are you doing Sunday? Nothing. Why? You want to go see The Revenant? As a matter of fact, I do. And there is a scene where, in order to survive the night in the middle of a blizzard, spoiler alert, he has to gut a horse and crawl inside.
I've seen this movie.
And
it's called Star Wars.
A New Hope.
No, it's
Empire.
It's Empire.
Hey guys,
you haven't seen them.
I'm just kidding.
You have seen them.
I'm kidding.
You have
All
seen
right,
'em.
like I don't know the order. I mean, I know that Luke Skywalker opens up a tauntaun in.
No, Han Solo opens up a tauntaun.
God, you're so fucking stupid.
No, Luke.
You like being
Nope.
stupid? Luke got knocked unconscious by the Yeti, and Han was trying to save him and took Luke's lightsaber and split open the tauntaun and said, "And I thought they smelled bad on the outside," and then shoved Luke inside.
Bill Weasley's in The Revenant.
Actually.
But yeah, after the movie, we were talking as we were walking out, and Garrett just goes, "Now, Zach, be honest with me. You think my wife could have handled that?" And I was like, "Absolutely not. Your wife would have been like, we gotta go. I can't do this anymore."
So I'm going to go full disclosure here.
Never seen The Revenant.
I have The Revenant on my honorable mention.
Okay.
And
I do as well.
And only because I've only made it about 45 minutes into that movie.
Okay.
And not for any fault of its own. I think a couple episodes ago I talked about how the first time I tried to watch it was on a shaky cam footage of
Yep.
a movie theater.
You're a pirate.
Arr.
But when
I think people know what a pirate sounds like without that. Zach.
when I flew to Las Vegas, it was like a 3.5 hour flight, the one that I got on. And so I was like, I watched like The Bad Bunch on my phone, which is a Star Wars cartoon, which is good if you haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it.
And then, or Bad Batch. But then I saw the dude in front of me was watching The Revenant. I was like, oh, well, I'll watch that and give it a shot. And for a couple of reasons, A, because I was on an airplane and just uncomfortable as fuck, and B, because the free headphones that they give you, because I don't travel with headphones because I always watch stuff on my tablet or whatever, were just super uncomfortable to plug into the thing. And I wasn't enjoying it. So I stopped watching it because I didn't want it to taint my experience of watching it. So I got they got off of the riverboat after their ambush. Right after he got mauled by the grizzly bears. Where I stopped watching.
I've got it on my honorable mention list as well, and the only reason is because I haven't watched it outside of the time we watched it in theaters, and so I can't remember a whole lot about it. But I know at the time I thought if that motherfucker doesn't win the Oscar for that, he might as well just quit acting because he ain't gonna get it.
So I stopped right when he got mauled by the grizzly bear.
Which was intense.
Or black
Right,
bear.
Probably the best part of the movie.
Right.
Well, and then like I watched a little bit more of it from the dude in front of me who was watching it throughout, so I feel like I've watched it all. But I know that he was phenomenal in it, and that the 45 minutes that I watched in it, he was phenomenal.
Yep.
Also, I don't know if the normal version of it has subtitles when he's speaking
Yes.
in his Native American language.
Yes.
Yeah.
The version on the airplane did not. So I was missing
So
like
you're I'm
30% of dialogue at times when he's talking with his son. So yeah.
Honorable mention for me and Don.
Yep.
All right.
Anything else you want to talk about in case you were saving it up for us to talk about it?
No.
Because we ain't gonna.
Just a
Not gonna.
solid flick.
Don, number 4.
My number 4
Good morning.
is a movie that I watched at a young age that awoken something inside of me that you just can't unawaken. And that movie is Titanic. And that something that was awakened was me seeing boobies. I don't know that I saw boobies before that movie.
You were like, you know what?
I like
Kate,
them.
Kate Winslet's boobies are good enough to put it at number 4 in Leonardo DiCaprio's best movies.
Pretty much.
One of my favorite things about Titanic is there was someone who sued James Cameron because she claimed that that story was her grandparents' lived experience on the Titanic. And I thought, how awkward is it to know that your grandma got stuffed in a Studebaker
by Leonardo DiCaprio.
By some poor third class.
by just some poor guy who got on the ship at the last second. Like, you know, your grandma was drawn naked with a incredibly expensive diamond around her neck, and she just got clapped out
Right.
in a cargo hold. That's awkward, right? I gotta think so.
So, arguably, James Cameron's best movie?
I thought we were gonna keep the arguably Leonardo DiCaprio's 4th best movie. Yeah. I like Avatar better than Titanic.
I really like Avatar. I like. Well, he also did Terminator.
Yeah.
Shit.
And Terminator 2.
Yep.
And I think the most recent one that sucked, but we
That,
won't hold that
we
against
won't.
him.
Yeah.
So we
And
won't
he
hold
did
that
some of
against
the
him.
Aliens movies as well.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, the first 2.
But
RoboCop.
No kidding.
True Lies.
oh, I love True Lies.
The Abyss.
I've never seen The
Nope.
Abyss.
I don't know what it is.
But
Piranha
yeah,
2.
it was really that movie. Even though it's like 3 hours and 15 minutes long, I believe it was on
two VHS.
two VHS
Yes,
tapes.
it was.
And we had Mom was in love with the movie. You had to go on like a 6-month waiting period when you pre-ordered the VHS. At I believe the Sam or that the Goodies or Babbage's, but we ordered it at whatever it was. But we got it in the standard 4x3, and we had it in widescreen.
Ooh.
So we had it.
You're big timing.
Yeah. But no, I really like Titanic, and I can't sit down and watch it very often because I can watch 2 movies in the time it takes to watch it, or I can watch other long-ass movies that are enjoyable to watch. Maybe like a master cut that's like 2 hours and 15 minutes. Get rid of a bunch of the bull crap.
Get rid of the old lady storytelling. I just want to straight to the humping in the cargo hold.
But if you do that, then you get rid of Bill Paxton, and we can't have that.
Yeah,
That's
it's
fair.
fine. It's fine.
No, it's not.
I think Titanic, I would love to see it. It might be one of the only movies I would love to see it remade with the technology available now.
It was so good at the time.
Right, at the time, it's good, but it's still. I mean, it hasn't aged well.
I don't know that I want it remade.
I would love to see Michael Cera play Jack, and
No, I want Leo to still play.
you're like,
Jack.
I want
I want everybody recast.
you know what the most, well, Not anymore. Actually, I was gonna be like they're like a Titanic origin story.
But if
Would be
somebody's
great. But Leo, you gotta really work on Leo being like 17.
But I want
Right.
everybody. I want everybody recast. But if they're dead, I want them to like go on and make the movie and talk as if that character's there, or if that actor's there, but with no reply. Does it make sense? No, it's fine. Billy Zane was in that,
He was great.
and he was in something else that's really good too. But I can't. He's in The Boys.
Oh, that Amazon show that I don't like that you think is great.
Correct.
Who is he in The Boys?
Billy Zane.
Billy Zane.
He is Billy Zane.
He's
Literally
Billy
says,
Zane in
I would say
the
it literally
Zoolander
says
2.
Billy Zane.
Oh, okay.
So
He's in Psych for an episode.
he was Billy Zane in Holmes and Watson.
He just plays himself ever since Titanic, apparently.
Pretty much. Aren't you the dude from Titanic? Yes. Jeez, I'm criminy.
I sure am.
You're
Zoo-
such a dick in that movie.
Zoolander 2, Billy Zane.
Right on.
So that's Don's number 4. And since he's got this bad habit of just talking as if nobody else is going to have any of these movies on their list, I got number 4, I have Django Unchained. There's this scene where he slaps the table. He gets glass in his hand. And I think his Calvin Candy, his Southern Gentleman plantation owner, is fantastic. In that movie, I think is almost underrated. I think that's Quentin Tarantino's best movie. I think it's better than Pulp Fiction. I think it's better than all the Kill Bills.
You can think that. You're wrong.
I think it's Quentin Tarantino's best movie.
You can certainly think that.
So I have it at number 4. It's Django Unchained. Zach?
Number 3, I have a little film entitled Inception. That people like misuse the term Inception because of the movie Inception. And that just kind of brings joy to my life because people think that if you put something inside of another thing that, I did Inception. Nope, that's not. Like if you watch the movie,
Off the top of your head, what is the definition of Inception?
planning an idea,
Okay.
because that's the whole point of the movie is that they're planning the idea into the old businessman's head to sell his company.
Mhm.
That movie has an all-star cast. You got obviously Leo, you got Tom Hardy, you got Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Can we stop for a moment? I love both of those last 2 actors, by the way.
Yeah, the
Oh,
friggin' solid.
Tom Hardy is.
Tom Hardy's a badass dude.
Tom Hardy's underrated.
Fact. And then
And
JGL,
Joseph Gordon-Levitt is great.
right?
But Joseph Gordon-Levitt is also in Looper.
Yeah.
Similar idea there. That's got me tripping balls at all times that I just can't handle. Cillian Murphy.
He's also in
Cillian
The Dark
Murphy.
Knight Rises.
Cillian Murphy.
Killian Murphy.
Elliot Page.
Yeah. Michael Caine.
Tom Berenger. Michael Caine.
Marion Cotillard.
But it's
Michael Caine.
it's a banger film.
Michael Caine.
It's trippy as all get out. It's got excellent action scenes.
Is it Christopher Nolan's best work?
Maybe.
It's not.
No.
Nope. The Dark Knight Rises is.
Don's like, Don laughs. No.
I don't know. I haven't seen Tenet yet.
It's
You
not-
can't hear anything. Like, it drives me nuts. People are like, you could tell this was mixed at home. You can't hear nothing. Tenet's really good. It's
The
sure
only
as hell
issue-
is better
the only
than
issue-
Dunkirk.
The only
Jesus.
issue with Tenet is that
Yes.
you can tell that it's mixed at home because you can't hear anything. I almost wish that I had taken some mushrooms before I watched Tenet.
It probably is. I think I told you that. I was like,
You told me that I should.
I was like, watch
Yeah.
it once and then get some shrooms. Watch it again, and you will be like, bruh, this is wild, man. So that was your number 3.
That's my number
Zach?
3.
Inception.
Inception at number 3.
Did either one of you two look up the definition?
Yeah.
It's a start of a
Right.
plan.
An
or
act,
an action.
process, or instance of beginning.
Eh.
Yeah, because it's the inception of something.
So when we hit that one button.
I don't. Oh, this button?
That's the
That's the
inception
of the
our
show.
show.
It's like, boy, that's a lot of mind reading down what's
But
going to do
then-
right now.
Contraception would be like stopping.
Would be like.
Yeah.
Bum, bum, bum.
So that's Zach's number 3. Dooney G.
Oh, shit. My number 3
Uh-huh.
is a Leonardo DiCaprio movie
You don't say.
starring, arguably, a better actor.
Oh, really?
And that better actor would be Tom Hanks in Catch Me If You Can.
Okay, because I was like, wait, are you about to say...
Tom Hanks
Yeah.
did a better job in that movie.
Well, I thought you were about to say a different
No.
film with a different actor.
No,
And I was like,
I wasn't about to say that. I wasn't about to say the film that we think Zach has at number 1.
gotcha.
Or that you think he does, and that I think that you think that he does. Anyway.
In the reaction show, can we talk about what you think Quentin Tarantino's best movie is, by the way?
Yeah.
Can I plant that out there right now?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Won't be an issue.
Continue. You have my permission.
So Leonardo DiCaprio and Tom Hanks.
Can I interrupt you one more time?
Yeah.
I also have Catch Me If You Can at number 3.
Okay. Let's talk about it.
Okay, because it's so good.
It's
It
a
really
banger.
is good. It honestly, the first time I sat down and watched it was over the summer. Like I sat down and watched it from front to back, and it's one of those movies that I'm upset that I waited so long to watch because
Yeah.
I caught parts of it before, and the fact that it's based on a true story is what's
So that is in the news lately.
Well-
There's a guy who has done a lot of digging and says there's not much to support that any of this really actually happened. There's not a whole lot of evidence that Frank Abagnale is telling the truth.
well, he served prison for
Right.
it.
I was say he went to prison for
right,
it.
but not
The stuff that he wasn't.
the stuff he got caught for, but there are other unsubstantiated things that he's like, oh, I totally
Passed
did
the
X,
bar.
Y, I did X, Y, Z, and they're like, I can't find any record of any of that actually.
Well, he's
happening.
just really good at it.
Right.
That could be.
He was a
So-
fraudster.
Frank Abagnale,
Yep. Frank William Abagnale.
he Junior.
Yes. Because seniors
He
played by
was
Christopher
actually
Walken.
on a game show. The real life version of him was on a game show called, I don't know if it's called like Lie to Me or whatever it
Yeah,
was,
something like that.
but and they were like, oh, this person stole
Millions of dollars before his 19th birthday.
fizzy lifting drink.
right. And
That's a different movie.
honestly, I watched a clip of that probably on Facebook or something like that, and I was like, I'm gonna actually watch Catch Me If You Can, and so then I watched that. That was the jumping off point to watch that. But Tom Hanks he plays that FBI agent so well, even though
Carl
he's
Hanratty.
not the
The lead character.
right. Another movie with Martin Sheen in it, by the way.
Yeah.
Yep. He's Amy Adams' dad.
Yes.
In the
Amy
movie?
Adams is also in this movie.
Unattractive Amy Adams.
Yeah.
James Brolin.
James Brolin is in the movie.
Who's James Brolin in the movie?
He is
Jack Barnes.
the guy.
Oh yeah, that
The guy.
yeah.
The guy.
His-
Frank's mom
Yeah.
ends up leaving.
Yeah.
Also, okay, Catch Me If You Can is one of Leonardo DiCaprio's lower-rated IMDb movies.
Really?
And
It's an 8.1. That is one of her lower ones, and it is an 8.1.
We'll talk about Catch Me If You Can some more.
I assumed so.
No, let's talk about it
Let's
now.
talk about it all now.
No. Okay, so that's my number 3. Garrett, that is your number 3.
Yes, and that Catch Me If You Can, I feel like, is one that's really hard to
Honestly, I was
slide in between.
I was surprised that I had it at 3 ahead of Titanic, and
It's
it
such
could easily be my number 2. It could easily be my
right.
number
It could
4.
very easily be my number 2. It's such an enjoyable movie to watch.
Yeah.
It's the Ted Lasso of movies for me. Like, I shouldn't love it as much as I do, and I do. I adore Catch Me If You Can. So that's my number 3. There are 2 more movies above that. Like, and again, if I really got down to the nitty gritty, could it be my number 2? Absolutely. But Catch Me If You Can is also my number 3. Zachers.
My number 2 is probably your guys' number 1. I'm going to get yelled at. But my number 2 is The Wolf of Wall Street. Because that movie has everything you would expect it to have if you know anything about people making money with stocks.
Yeah, like short selling and
Like
going to the
short
moon.
shelling and going to the moon and doing massive amounts of cocaine and quaaludes.
Crypto.
A little early for crypto.
Catch Me If You Can is an 8.1, and it's one of his lower rated movies.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I absolutely love The Wolf of Wall Street, and I really love the story behind The Wolf of Wall Street because the movie is about a man by the name of Jordan Belfort.
Jordan Belfort.
I've been getting dirty money.
Jordan Belfort.
Stacking penny stops while I'm catching these birds.
So,
Flipping these birds.
spoiler
sorry.
alert, he gets caught doing all sorts of illegal things and goes to jail. And when he was in jail, he told his cellmate about all the wacky and crazy things he used to do. And his cellmate said, "You need to write a book." He was like, because this would make a fantastic read just because you've lived the wildest life ever. And his cellmate said, "Hey, write the book, and when we both get out of jail, let me know. I have connections. We will get your book published." And his cellmate did have connections, and his cellmate did help him get his book published and then optioned into a major motion picture because his cellmate was Tommy Chong, which I don't know if many people know that or not. But
Of Cheech and Chong fame?
of Cheech and Chong fame,
He wasn't Cheech?
Garrett, you might need to, I don't know, but
Yeah, keep talking.
when Tommy Chong got arrested for marijuana possession of all things and went to jail, he was cellmates with Jordan Belfort.
That's surprising that he would get arrested for that.
right.
Jordan Belfort.
And he was like, "You've lived a wild life, and I'm Tommy Chong." It's just a great movie. It's another Martin Scorsese movie. Jonah Hill's in that movie, and it's one of those fun, awkward Jonah Hill movies where he's not really fat, but he's not thin Jonah Hill either. So he's still pretty funny.
Speaking of,
And I would
let's
say
go
this
to
is
JonahHillFat.com. Current status, the dude.
And
yeah.
we said that he's never really done a comedy, but The Wolf of Wall Street's a very funny movie, but it is not a comedy.
We'll talk about it more.
Okay.
Just in case you were done talking.
Okay.
My number 2 is The Wolf of Wall Street. I don't really have that much more to say about it without. No, I really don't have any. The best part of that scene is when he, or the best part of the movie is when he gets high on his quaaludes and then
Drives his
car.
Countach.
thinks that he's driving his car really well and makes it home, and then he walks out the next morning and it's just totaled.
It's just trashed. This guy I watch on YouTube just bought the same car, and he's just like, "I just really want to do the whole Leo thing where I'm trying to open my door with my leg," but he was like, "This is also a very expensive car, and I don't want to do that."
Fun fact for The Wolf of Wall Street, it is the longest movie that airs on FX.
Nice.
3 hours.
3 hours.
But Leo,
I'll say it's a long one, but it's a
Jonah
good
Hill,
one.
Margot Robbie,
Yeah.
Matthew McConaughey, Rob Reiner,
The
John Bernthal,
Kyle Chandler.
John Favreau.
John Favreau. Don's favorite, John Favreau.
He's Daniel Bateman from The Replacements. I mean, I can go on. So Margot Robbie is
The hottest woman on the planet.
who's the skater? Tanya Harding from
Yes.
I, Tanya. Jonah Hill, who is of course in the movie Accepted, where he dresses
I was
up and
gonna
says,
say,
"Ask me about my wiener."
The other one night last week, Ashley was like, "Can we just watch something?" And so I was scrolling through every app we've got, and is on Netflix, and I was like, "We'll watch Accepted." And she was like, "Well, I like this," and I was like, "I think you will." And at some point, I said something to her, and she's like, "Shut up! I'm watching this." Like, okay, so yeah, you like it.
It's got Matthew McConaughey in it, who's the coach from We Are Marshall.
Which one of my favorite jokes that came out around.
It's got
this
Kyle
time.
Chandler in
Who
it.
was the coach in Friday Night Lights?
No, I didn't watch that, so he
TV
wasn't
show.
that. He was he's the friend who
The FBI agent
kills
Wolf of Wall
himself
Street?
in A Million Little Things.
Is he?
No,
No, that's someone else.
I was going to
No,
say, I was
it's
like, Ashley watches A Million Little Things. I've never seen Kyle Chandler on there.
But,
Someone else that kind of looks like him is, though.
He's in Argo.
But
That's not obscure enough.
The Wolf of Wall Street came out the same year the Dallas Buyers Club came out, I believe. And
He's Brooks in Game Night. He's the main
Yes.
character's older brother in the Game Night. Bam,
Yeah.
got it.
But I think it was like Screen Rants or Screen Junkies, or one of them made a video. It was like I think it was Screen Junkies did the honest trailer for the Wolf of Wall Street. And they talk about how Matthew McConaughey was up for Best Actor for Dallas Buyers Club, and so was Leo for the Wolf of Wall Street. And they're like, and Matthew McConaughey won the Oscar for Best Actor that year, and he's just like, and the winner of the Best Actor award comes in and literally thumps his chest at Leonardo DiCaprio.
Those are rookie numbers. You got to pump those numbers up.
So Rob Reiner, of course, Mitch from the Beverly Hillbillies. John Byrne.
That is obscure.
John Bernthal.
Shane, Walking Dead. Punisher.
Shane the Walking Dead. He was Frank Castle in The Punisher. He was also. Give me a second, because he was Grady Travis in Fury.
He's Jordan Belfort's dad in The Wolf of Wall Street.
He's Lee
He's
Iacocca.
Carlos in How I Met Your Mother.
He's Lee Iacocca in Ford versus Ferrari, isn't he?
No.
He is.
Oh, do you mean John Bernthal? I thought you were talking about Rob Reiner. I was like, no, Zach. No, Lee Iacocca is not Rob Reiner.
And then, of course, you've got Leonardo DiCaprio, who is
It's arguably
Jordan
his
Belfort.
second best movie, according to Don.
And Zach.
True. I'm liking your list so far.
My number 2 is The Aviator, which is one of Leonardo DiCaprio's lowest rated movies on IMDb at a 7.5. It's directed by Martin Scorsese. He and Scorsese get along pretty well. It tells the story of Howard Hughes, who was this incredibly complex person from the 1920s through the 1940s.
It's the way of the future.
Way of the future.
Way of the future. Show me all the blueprints.
And I think it's one of Leonardo DiCaprio's best acting roles.
Yeah.
Is him as Howard Hughes and all of the things he goes through, and basically being a billionaire when there weren't billionaires.
Right.
Like, there were not billionaires.
And not only being a billionaire, being an eccentric billionaire.
Right, being a dude who struggles with OCD that
it's 1920, nobody knows
that it's OCD, stuff like that. I think it's his best acting.
I have The Aviator on my honorable mention, and it was about 4 different spots on my list before it got bumped.
And again, I could go Catch Me If You Can at 2 and The Aviator at 3. But I really, really, really enjoy watching The Aviator, even though it is 2 hours and 50 minutes long.
Yeah.
It's a long one, but I really enjoy it.
Good cast in that movie, too.
Yeah, no.
You've got Alec Baldwin playing Juan Tripp, the CEO of Pan Am. You've got John C. Reilly being his personal assistant.
Yep.
You've got Alan Alda being the senator.
Yep.
What in the world does a senator from Maine have business doing in Brazil or wherever it is? Like, it's like his congressional hearing at the end of that movie when he straight up walks out is such a badass scene, and it's amazing that that's straight up how it happened. That Howard Hughes just flat out said, the Hercules will fly, and if it doesn't, I will pack my things, I will leave this country, and I will never return, and then walked out of a Senate hearing.
Kate Blanchett is Katharine Hepburn.
Yep.
What movie are you guys even talking about?
The Aviator.
The Aviator.
Okay.
You black out there for a hot second.
Yeah, I haven't been listening. I've never seen The Aviator.
It's really
good.
It's, in my opinion, Leonardo DiCaprio's best actor.
Probably his second best movie.
It's arguably Leonardo DiCaprio's second best movie. So before we get to our honorable mentions and our number ones, let's hear from one of our fine sponsors. All right, so we are ranking our favorite Leonardo DiCaprio movies, and we have gotten to the point in the show where we hit our honorable mentions and our number ones. So, Zachers, give us your honorable mentions.
Okay, so I have 3 honorable mentions. 2 of them have already been named. I've got Django Unchained for obvious reasons. I've got The Aviator, which Garrett just talked about because I freaking love that movie. And number 3 is The Man in the Iron Mask, which I didn't know until...
That's written by Alexander Dumbass, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Which I didn't realize. Like, I saw The Man in the Iron Mask once a long time ago when I was a kid, and I didn't really get that it was a continuation of the Three Musketeers. And then I recently watched it again as an adult, and I was like, oh, wow, this is a continuation of The Three Musketeers. This is a really good story. The movie's okay, but it's, again, banger cast. Leo, Jeremy Irons, John Malkovich, Gerard Depardieu. That's just fun to say.
Gerard Depardieu.
Gerard Depardieu. But yeah, they were...
I just tried to quietly move his mic arm, and it could not have been less quiet. It was so... Thank you for that.
But yeah, so
It's just so you're over there like trying to be so quiet.
As I'm staring at Zach, 'cause he's not talking into his mic.
Oh,
I'm
gotcha.
sorry. But
You're
yeah,
right.
that's my three.
All right,
honorable
so my
mentions.
honorable mention, I've got Inception, which is
The beginning.
which is,
process of
course,
beginning
the
something.
beginning.
Arguably.
It's arguably one of his movies.
Arguably 6th or 7th best movie.
And what's crazy is it has Tom Hardy in it, and Tom Hardy plays Forrest Bondurant from Lawless.
Yep.
Moderant.
Yep.
And then gets his neck fucking slit in that
Right.
show. But then my other honorable mention, we've already talked about.
And then he doesn't
Inception.
even have scars in Inception.
Right. But we don't even need to.
Which I think Inception came first.
What's the funny line from that? Like we watched
Inception?
that before we went to our friend's wedding. We watched no, not Inception. We're talking
Lawless?
Tom Hardy. We watched Lawless. And what did he say that we kept quoting the entire time at our friend's wedding?
He does that.
I think it's just literally
he
that.
does that.
He's just literally,
Like instead of
do you
Right.
take this woman?
yeah, he
Just kind of grunts a lot.
right.
So-
Anything he doesn't like, he never is like, no, this sucks. I don't want that.
This
It's
isn't the
just-
Tom Hardy podcast, but what's crazy is he was supposed to be like super thin, but he just got done playing Batman, so he was like,
No, we just got done playing Bane.
in Batman,
Right.
Sorry, he got done acting in Batman, so he's super jacked, and they'd already postponed filming this movie like 3 years, and they're like, we're just gonna fucking film it. You're jacked now.
Because he's supposed to be this like kind of small
Right.
rat-looking dude. And
The other one that I have in here is the Revenant,
Revenant.
which of course means the ending. But
Arguably.
but Tom Hardy is also in that, and Tom
Yeah.
Hardy is of course known for John A. Janovich in Band of Brothers.
Arguably.
I literally just realized that Tom Hardy was
Is
in the
Band of
Revenant.
Oh.
That was in the Revenant.
Gotcha.
I've known he was in Band of Brothers.
I did not know he was in Band of Brothers.
He's John A. Janovich.
Hey, you don't say.
Now you know.
So that's my honorable
You
mentions.
don't know. Now you know.
If you didn't know, now you know.
My honorable mention, The Revenant, and movie I thought you were talking about earlier, Don, when you said it arguably has a better, is Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yeah.
I really like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
That movie is boring AF.
Okay, so if you're an idiot,
So that confirmed what I think his number one is.
me as well. But Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I really enjoyed. And I know the entire time I thought you're kind of waiting for something to happen. You're like, why am I watching all of this unfold? And then the final half hour of the movie is outstanding.
Right, but the first 2.5 are...
No, you got to
Dull.
tell a story.
No, you don't.
Yeah, you do. I love
The story it tells is not related at all.
I almost had Once Upon a Time in Hollywood at 5 rather than Shutter Island. Because I
All right.
really enjoy Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. So we are now hitting our number ones. Zach, go ahead and talk.
Well, I think we all know what he has. I think that you think that he has Gilbert Grape at number one.
No.
Oh. What do you think he has at number one?
I think he has Catch Me If You Can at number 1.
I have Catch Me If You Can at number
Okay,
one.
I forgot that he hadn't said that.
Right.
Because I absolutely love that movie.
When we came in here, I thought he was going to say Titanic was number 1, and I was going to slap the shit out of him.
Oh.
Gotcha.
I was like, if you do, because I said, if you do what I think you're about to do, we're going to have problems.
Right. No, I absolutely love Catch Me If You Can. Because I love the story of Frank Abagnale. Whether it's true or not now, I have to kind of flutter
Still like
on.
the story.
But I still like the movie because he, as a teenager, impersonated a teacher, a Pan Am airline pilot, a doctor, and a lawyer, traveled all over the world, cashed millions of bad checks, or millions of dollars worth of bad checks before he was 20. And he ran away from home because his parents were getting divorced and he didn't know how to deal with it because he was 16. That his dad's business was going under because of his parents' divorce, and just there was a whole lot of problems at home. So he bailed, and he didn't mean to become a criminal. It started out with, well, I don't have any money in my checking account and I need money to live, so I'm just going to write bad checks and, whatever happens, happens. And then his life just kind of spiraled out of control from there. But I mean, a lot of the security features on money these days have been developed by Frank Abagnale. Like the watermarks on like $100 bills were developed by Frank Abagnale. And I just think that it's a badass story. Yeah, and it's incredible cast. And yeah, all around, I think it's probably my favorite Leonardo DiCaprio movie.
All right, so that's Zach's number one. Donnie G.
My number one is arguably a Leonardo DiCaprio movie. And I say that because it might be a Brad Pitt movie, because it's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Are you serious?
Yes.
I love Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
I love Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Fucking hate
And
that
I
movie so
love
much.
well, I didn't ask you, Zach. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I think that Leonardo DiCaprio does a fantastic job of acting in it, because he's acting like a washed-up actor, but then when he does good in like the Gunsmoke spinoff or whatever it's supposed to be, he's acting he's acting 3 layers deep in that movie, because he's
acting as an
actor who is also acting. And honestly, you kind of get drawn into it a little bit, and you start to believe that this character is actually Leonardo DiCaprio, and he has all these problems. It's so phenomenally done. Is it slow at times? Yes, but they're telling so many different stories during this.
Right. That are interconnected.
That are interconnected in this movie universe that aren't
also
in real life.
borderlines real life.
Like
that there are real life people in this fake world, and the entire time that you're introduced to Sharon Tate, you're like,
she's gonna die.
And this is a Quentin Tarantino movie. You're like, oh God, no,
she's gonna die terribly. So this should answer your question. This is what I think Quentin Tarantino's best movie is.
Got you. I thought you were gonna die on the Pulp Fiction hill.
No, I think Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is Quentin Tarantino's best work. I really like Pulp Fiction, obviously, but a lot of that is just because it's a cult classic.
Right, gotcha.
The ending of it is amazing, and it's what
that's
what you want in a
so
Quentin Tarantino movie.
The ending is phenomenal, but the first 2 hours and 50 minutes of this movie are not so much.
Right,
the last 20 are
You're
great.
not an intellectual like us.
Right.
Uh-huh.
To be fair, you have to have a certain
je ne sais quoi.
I was going to say je ne sais quoi. But then I was trying to do like the Rick and Morty meme where it's like, you have to have a certain IQ to be able to understand the jokes that are in this show.
Like, Alex and I went and saw Once Upon a Time in Hollywood together, and Alex said that he was about to walk out because it was so boring.
Right. And when I want Alex's opinion on cinematography, then I've hit the bottom of the barrel.
You know what the definition of je ne sais quoi is?
It's French for there's not a word for that.
I don't know what. It's got a certain
I don't
je
know
ne sais quoi.
I don't know what Dickie likes and doesn't like, so that's rude.
Am I willing to learn?
But I'm not.
No.
But him almost walking out in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is enough for me to get an understanding.
Were there times that I sat there and thought,
I wish this wasn't on the screen right now.
or there like I think I got up and went to the bathroom. And it's one of the only times I've ever gotten up and gone to the bathroom because I just thought, what the and I considered leaving, and I was like, what the fuck is going on here? Because there's not, it's Napoleon Dynamite-esque for a hot second.
Right.
That there's no plot. It's just sort of
Brad
existing.
Pitt changing shirtless on, or
right,
just on a house shirtless. some of the stuff,
He picks
but
up-
it's when it wants to do something, it does it extremely well.
I'll give
When
you
it's
that.
building up all of the tension when he walks into the trailer at I almost said Marilyn Manson.
Charles
when they go to
Manson's.
Charles Manson's
Go to Marilyn Manson's house.
when they go to Charles
I like that
Manson,
better.
and he's like going to walk into the back of the trailer, and they're just like, don't go in there, don't go in there, you can't go in there, he's sleeping, you can't go in there. And he goes in there, and the dude's just legitimately sleeping.
Right.
Like I felt the tension of what was happening on there when they
Like, I
they
get
want you
that.
to feel a way, or they want you when they want to do something, they do it extremely well. But while that's going on, Leonardo DiCaprio's character's just drunk, chilling with an 8-year-old girl who's teaching him how to act on this TV show. And then I don't know. I thoroughly enjoyed this movie as a whole. Were there parts that I didn't like?
Sure.
Yes, but by the end of the movie, I'm glad that I watched the entire movie because it fits together so perfectly.
It's great. I'm in agreement. My number one is The Wolf of Wall Street. And I don't know that it's so much it's not. I said The Aviator, I think, is Leonardo DiCaprio's best work as an actor. I think it's the best directed movie that Leonardo DiCaprio is in. It is the best film that Leonardo DiCaprio is in. The entire story is outstanding. There's so many great moments of the I'm not fucking leaving. Like that part, like it's so perfect.
The memes for The Wolf of Wall
Oh,
Street
they're
on Wall Street
endless.
bets during like GameStop and all of this stuff
AMC,
going
yeah.
on was so good.
It's so The Wolf of Wall Street. The story is great. The everything about it is great, and Margot Robbie's the hottest woman on the planet.
Yeah.
And, she's in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood too.
I know she is.
And it's
She's
just
Harley Quinn and
Birds of Prey, and the
yeah,
Fantabulous, blah 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 blah.
yeah. But she's also Harley Quinn in Suicide Squad.
That she is.
And that's
but
almost making that movie watchable.
The Wolf of Wall Street, the entire thing, it just wakes up and pisses excellence.
Yeah.
So I've got
You
it at
can't
number
go
one.
into it thinking it's like a serious movie though. So when I watched it, or you can,
But it's
when
a
I
lot
wa-
more fun
if you go into it thinking of it as a comedy, it's freaking hilarious.
Yes. Right. It was Zach earlier was like,
I
it's not a
didn't-
comedy. And I'm like, is it?
I didn't enjoy it until, like, I watched it with our friend Marcus. He was like, I love this movie. Let's watch it. And I'm like, yeah, it's okay. And he's like, it's a comedy. And I'm like, oh. Like, as soon as it kind of clicked that it was a comedy, the little stuff that people were doing.
I think it's not, but it is.
So
it is
it's
funny.
just like, so the Martian won the Oscar for comedy. It wasn't
Golden
supposed
Globe.
Yeah, same thing.
Huge difference.
But it won the comedy section. It wasn't supposed to be a comedy, but it was funny. And Matt Damon won Best Actor in a comedy, I think.
Yes, I think that's what it was.
That's what it was. But The Martian was supposed to be. It wasn't supposed to be a comedy, but it ended up being a comedy once the audience decided that it was a comedy. Just like I think Wolf of Wall Street did.
So I love The Wolf of Wall Street. I think it should have won Best Picture the year it came out. And there's actually a bunch of
What won Best Picture?
12 Years a Slave.
I never watched that.
And then American Hustle, Captain Phillips, Dallas Buyers Club, Gravity, Her, Nebraska, Philomena, and Wolf of Wall Street.
Hers when Joaquin Phoenix wants to have sex with Siri, right?
Yeah, but it's Siri voiced by Scarlett Johansson, so I get it.
I understand it. I get it. Alfonso Cuarón won the Best Director for Gravity. And the Best Actor went to Matthew McConaughey, like we talked about a little bit ago.
Timothy Oliphant is also in Once Upon a Time in Mexico.
Hollywood?
Yep. Once Upon a Time in Mexico is an Antonio Banderas movie, and it's a sequel to Desperado. And Edward Scissorhands, Johnny Depp is in Once Upon a Time in Mexico.
And now I know.
And now you know.
If you don't know,
Why do I know
now you
Timothy
know.
Oliphant?
I don't know. Zach's on Twitter.
At Zach C, right? Zach with an H.
Don's on Twitter.
At Donnie_G, Don with a D. Oh, he's Hitman.
Oh, yeah. And we'll catch you next time. Bye.